This is Møller Nielsen from Java Code Geeks, and I'm going to teach you how to write clean, efficient Python code by using the Anaconda dependency management system. When you start to learn Python, then you are often told to install some libraries, and if you don't want to clutter up your default environment, then Anaconda is something for you. Now, complementary to this video, there will be related articles in the description below. Also, feel free to visit javacodegeeks.com. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we have more videos coming up. Now, without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, what kind of problem is it that we try to solve with Anaconda? It is the dependency management system that we actually get with Anaconda. If you have ever tried to create a Java project, then you would know that is something called named Gradle and Maven. And if you are used to the Node.js, then you would know that there's a Node package manager. And just like this, there is also a package manager for Python. The default one is pip, where we can install packages. But with Anaconda, you can choose your whole environment. That means that you can choose the Python version, and you can also set which libraries that you need. And then you will not get your default environment cluttered up. And this also means that if you have some legacy projects where you have a project that is dependent of an old legacy library, an old version, then you don't need to ruin your other environment, your basic environment by installing this older version of the library. That means that you can have multiple projects that uses different versions of the libraries, and that is pretty strong and it's pretty powerful. Anaconda, it is free to use, and you can download it by just going to anaconda.com, and then you will find a download button that matches your operating system. I am using Windows and WSL, that means Windows subsystem for Linux. That means that I'm actually running everything inside the Linux, inside Ubuntu. And that means that I need to press, even though my system was detected to Windows, then I need to press the penguin button right here. And when I press that, then I get the screen right here. And then I can press the 64-bit x86 installer right here, which is, you can see like 600 megabyte. I've already downloaded this. I've cheated a little bit. I pressed this button already. I've downloaded this. I've placed this inside my WSL, and you can do that by just using the Windows Explorer. Then you can move the files to wherever you want. Before we go through the installation, let me just show you one thing, and that is the pricing. Because of course, all companies, they need to make money, or else there will be no resources to actually develop these frameworks right here. And there's a pricing right here, which says that if you just want to try stuff out, and if you're a student, or if you want to use it for academic purposes, then it is actually free. You get Anaconda, and you get all of those packages that they have in the default repository. You get that for free. You can just use it out of the box for all operating systems. But if you want to use it professionally, then it costs something, and you will also get some more support, and you can also get some extended libraries, some more. There will be some more security and stuff like that. But for a person that wants just to learn Python from the beginning, then you can just use it for free as it is. So that was it. I just wanted to mention that of course all companies want to make money so they can pay their employees. That's just how it is. Let us install now Anaconda, because it is quite easy to install. I have placed my shell script file. This is the 581 megabyte big shell script file that you actually get. You need to modify it so it gets the executable modifier on it, like this, csmod, and then the name of it, I can just call this, right, like this. And then you need just to execute the file. And let's see what happens. Then we get a lot with there's some license here. Do you know you can use it for this and not that? And if you want to use it for that, then you need to pay for it, etc., etc., etc. Yes, I just press yes. I have read the license terms like that. And then it asks for a default installation folder, and this will always be your home folder and then Anaconda 3. Of course, you can change it to something else if you want to, but I have no reason to set it to something else, so I will just install it inside the default location. And now it will download all of the packages. The cool thing about Anaconda is also you do not lose anything, because when you're running your tutorials for maybe for TensorFlow, if you think that's interesting, or maybe for pandas, which is a video that we also have at javacodegeeks.com, then you can use pip install inside your environment actually. So the way it works is that you create an Anaconda environment, and when you create the Anaconda environment, you choose which Python version you want to use. If you don't choose any Python version, you'll get the latest long-term supported, which is currently 3.9. But if you want a version 2.7, then you can just say that when you create your environment, and then inside your environment, then you can run pip install, and then you can install packages which is not installed with Conda but with pip if you want to. But of course, you're using Anaconda now, so of course you want to install Anaconda packages if they're available, and you do that by writing Conda install and then the name of the package. But we will go through that in just a minute, because to begin with, there's a lot of commands, and there's a cheat sheet that I would recommend you to look up right away, because it will just save you a lot of reading in the documentation. First of all, I get this error every time, but it does not do anything. It still works. We installed it correctly, but I still get this. I get this in this line every time. I need to dig into why I get this, but it is not anything. It's not dangerous. It will not stop something from working. Now let us see that Anaconda. We got this Anaconda folder right here. 3. This directory. Let us see what it actually contains. It contains a lot of folders, and we only need to be interested in the int folder right here. This environments folder right here. This will show us which environments that we actually have. Right now we do not have any. Then we just create a new terminal. What happened now? Now I have something called base in front. That is actually Anaconda. That is the activated environment in Anaconda right now. That is the base environment. Let us just list again now. We still don't have any environments. That's because we don't have any environments except for the base environment. Let us just create an environment then. And how do we do that? Oh no, we don't know how to create a new environment. Let us look up in the cheat sheet, which is right here. You find the cheat sheet by writing. You can just Google to it with a Conda cheat sheet, and then that will be one of the first matches that you will see. And it's inside. It's at docs.conda.io, as you can see right here. So here we have a cheat sheet. You can update Conda like this. You can get information about the current version. Let us just do that just for fun. What kind of version are we running? We're running Python 3.9, and we run the Conda version for the 10.3. That's cool, awesome. But now we want to create an environment. And how do we do that? This command right here. Try to look at that. We just call conda create, and then the name minus name, and then the name of the environment, and then the version of the distribution version of Python. So it means that we can choose true here if we want to. And that's exactly what we want to do right now, just for fun. We want to create some environments, because now we have the option now that we have Anaconda installed. So I want to create one that is named Mike's Legacy. So this is my legacy environment, and here I am using 2.7 for some reason. So that means that I have a lot of legacy packages. I have the Python 2.7 in this environment right here. Proceed, yes. There's a lot of default dependencies right here that is also being installed. And look what it says right here, pip. So that means that if you ever get an error that says when you try to run conda installer in a package, and then it says, oh no, this package is not cannot be found, it's not in the default repositories from Anaconda, then you can just write pip install instead, and then you still get it inside your Anaconda environment. That is the beauty of it. So you do not lose anything by using Anaconda over pip to install your packages. So now we're done by creating this environment right here. Let me just check my folder again. Now we have something in my envs folder that is Mike's legacy. So that means that every time we create an environment, it actually just creates a folder where it actually places all of our libraries and all of our Python settings, etc. So that is pretty awesome. So how do we activate this environment? I can just write conda activate Mike's legacy like this. And now I am using this Mike's legacy environment. And if I write Python minus version, then I'm suddenly using Python version 2.7. Whoa, that is awesome. And that is very, very easy. So let us create one more environment. I want to create an environment, and that is the. I just want to have one that is named Mike, and that should be using. Let us just go take the command right here again. That should use 3.9 instead. So I'll do that like this. I'll just write conda create, and then we'll say this is just named Mike, and then we'll say 3.9. So this is the latest and greatest instead, like this. Oh, conda create name Mike, then Python 3.9. Yes, install all of that. And then I want to activate it. Conda activate Mike, like this. And I want to install a package. So how do I install a package? Maybe I want to install the pandas package. And we have another video about pandas. If you are interested in that, just look it up at Java Code Geeks. So let us just see here. What if I want to install one? You just write conda install and then the package name. Okay, so let us try that. Conda install pandas right here. And it says there's a lot of dependencies. There's NumPy, which gives us a lot of cool stuff to handle arrays and data sets. So now we have pandas installed. What else can we do? We can also list our packages, list all the packages and versions inside the active environment. So again, this is from the cheat sheet. Conda list, then we get all of these packages. If you want to list your environments, if you don't remember which environments you have, then you write conda in list, then you can get a list of the environments. And you can see there's a small asterisk right here on the activated environments, which is right here. And of course, I can swap between these by just calling conda activate and then the name of the environment, and then I switch to that environment instead. That is awesome. Okay, if you have not chosen an editor, an IDE, Integrated Development Environment yet, then I have two good choices for you. You can use Pycharm. There's a community edition which works fine. If you want to mix it in with some web development, then you should consider using the professional version, which of course has a price. But if you just want to do basic stuff, maybe you want to do some data modeling, then you can use the community edition. Yeah. And the same with Visual Studio, that's also free. It is awesome also. The benefit with Visual Studio is that it's a bit faster, it's a bit more responsive, while Pycharm, sometimes you will have to wait for it to index new libraries and files and etc. The upside is that then it can actually help you a little bit more sometimes when you are stuck with code completion or with examples of how you should actually code whatever you're trying to code. So those two options are there. I have both installed and I use them both very often. So yeah, and so let us start up. And I'm using Pycharm, so let me start that one up right here. And if you suddenly are stuck, let us just let me just check right here. I created this new project right here named Python Anaconda demo, and then I've deleted the interpreter. So let us see what happens first. You can see here it actually takes some time to start up because it needs to. I think I actually found the same interpreter again because I named it Mike like it was before. It's actually So that's actually fine. I'll just show you how to set the interpreter. You press Ctrl Alt S to get to settings, or you can press File and then you can go to settings up here, and then you can choose the interpreter. And I already have one interpreter right here. That is because I chose exactly the same name as I had already before I deleted my Anaconda 3 folder and started reinstalled the whole Anaconda. But let us say that we want to create a new environment that we want to use. There's a lot of libraries already there. So let us create a new library. Right here we can name this Mic2 instead. So yes, we want to install that. And now we want to use Mic2 inside Pycharm. How do we do that? You press the little gear button right here, and then I like to see show all, and I can see all of my Python interpreters, and I have some on my Windows machine, and I have some on my WSL, my Ubuntu machine. You need to place your code on the same instance, on the same operating system as you have your Anaconda. So that means that if you want to place your code on the Windows computer, then on your Windows instance, then you should also install Anaconda for Windows, which is of course also possible. If you want to use all of those cool Linux utilities that you can actually get access to when you're using WSL, then you need to place your code, and you also need to install Anaconda on the WSL instance. Yes, that's just it. Now I'll show you how to install, how to add an interpreter on your Ubuntu machine. I just pressed the little plus. If you are using Windows, then you would press Conda environment right here, and you would just find your environment inside your Conda folder. I'm using WSL, so I will press WSL right here. And I think this is one of the strong sides with Pycharm, that I can just choose, that it supports both WSL and Windows out of the box, and of course also Mac. So then I just need to navigate to my environment folder, and we have already seen where that is actually. That's under home, my name right there, and then we go to Anaconda 3, go to ifs, and then we can see there's Mic2. So I'll just, here's the folder. We need to point to the Python executable, so which is right here, or the Python 3 executable. They're the same, so that's fine. Also the 3.9, so you have 3 executable that actually does the same thing right there. And then we press OK, and we press OK. And here's a list of those packages that I have there per default. And if I want to add pandas, then I need to go out and activate Mic2. So I'll just do that, conda activate Mic2. And then I say conda install pandas. So I'll install this again just to show you that then we can actually see it in Pycharm afterwards. So let me just press here and there. Just refresh like this. And now we have pandas installed on the second interpreter. You should actually name your, I like to name my interpreters just like I name my, we should actually name it something else, but now we created it, so that's okay. I would actually recommend that you name your interpreters as the same as you name your environments. But of course, you can also see it up here. It is up in the path right here. So that means that now we have an interpreter. We have a main file right here, and we can actually create some Python code. Let me just create a new Python file right here. New Python file. And let us just name this fun.py. Like this. And what should we do? We print out hello world. And then I want to run this file right here. I can right click, run fun. And then it says hello world because we use the interpreter on my Ubuntu WSL instance. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And of course I have access to all of the pandas libraries and if I want to use those. One more thing that Anaconda provides that we need to talk about is let's say that you don't like all of these commands right here. Conda install pandas, conda activate, conda create. It's too difficult, right? Then there's something called Conda Navigator that can help you with a nice UI. So let us just write that, and Conda Navigator. Enter. It'll take some time to start up, unfortunately. It doesn't take long, but especially the first time when you start it. But what does this Anaconda Navigator do? Let us just check out the documentation right here, because here we have the window, and there's actually a lot of things going on right here. okay, it was actually quite fast this time. Do we want to update to Anaconda 2.14? I'll do that. No, remind me later. I'll do that a bit later after this video right here. But what we have right here inside the Anaconda Navigator is that we actually have access to a lot of cool tools, and we have the Jupyter notebook right there where we can play around with some Python. We have also Jupyter Lab link right here. We actually also have Pycharm Professional right here that we can install through this Anaconda Navigator if we don't have it already. There's a lot of cool stuff right here on this page right here, but that is not what. Of course, you can dig into that and study all of these subjects by themselves. They are all very, very interesting. I ensure that. But if you don't want to use the terminal, then you can press this environments button in the left side right here, and here you can actually get an overview of all of your environments. Here we have mic 2, and we have the mic legacy environment. And then I can swap between them. I can see what kind of which packages they have, and I can also then search for some that are not installed, and then I can actually install them. So if I go to the mic one, let me just check if I have pandas there. Pandas right there. There's something, Panda SQL, we do not have that. So then I could actually go and choose that, and then I could say apply. And now it would actually install Panda SQL and also the dependencies. So this is exactly the same as if I went to the terminal and if I ran conda install and then the package right here. Sometimes this is better. Personally, I prefer the terminal. I prefer to write all of the commands one by one. I prefer to know about these commands that we have right here. One more thing is that when you are done creating this awesome environment that you want to share with other people, then you can export it. And there are several ways to export this. You can take a backup of the whole thing, which is right here, backup. Or what I would actually recommend is that every time you add something to your conda environment, then you should also add it to a requirements.txt file that you place in the root of your folder, because then if someone don't want to use Anaconda, then they can still get their project up and running, and then they can just use pip to install all of those requirements.txt libraries that you are mentioning in that file. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. Bye.